Hey, what's going on everyone? So in today's video, I want to talk about Boxy Pixel Game Boy cartridges. I'll do it pretty much as extensive as I can. I'll explain how much it's going to weigh, what's the differences, and some of the cartridges you might want to look for, some of the ones you might want to look out for. Now these are going to be Boxy Pixel's aluminum Game Boy Color cartridges. I wish I could show you through a video how it would feel, but that I cannot do. But what I can try and do is I got a little scale here too, so I'll weigh them in front of everybody. That way you guys get an idea if there's any significant difference between playing it with the Analogue Pocket or just playing it compared to an original one. So without further ado, everyone please like and subscribe to the video. Thank you everyone who's done so far. You guys are great, and let's get into it.
Hey, so here we are at the Boxy Pixel website. Now, I've done several videos before looking at Boxy Pixel stuff before, and if you haven't, please check it out. I'll have some of the links below of previous videos I've done, specifically talking about maybe Boxy Pixel Unhinged for the Game Boy Advance, or the Game Boy Advance Boxy Pixel, like the one that's here. Now, what I'm specifically talking about today is going to be their Game Boy Color cartridges. Now, they have a pretty good one that I want to look at, so let's just check it out on their website before we move it over and check it out on the actual Analogue Pocket. So here it is. Now, it's pretty straightforward, as you can see. It's $18 per. They're all aluminum minus the one that's brass, which costs $20. That one's a little bit more expensive, obviously, because it's brass, and I'll explain that as well. I have the brass, and I have a couple of the other ones. Obviously, I don't have every color, but he does have a good amount of variety here if you just want to explore different stuff, or if you just want to put, let's say you have an old Pokemon Red game you want to give a new facelift, you can throw on the red. Or if you have a blue version, right now they're out of stock with it, but they can use this blue version right here. I also used the blue for Pokemon Crystal. Also using it right now for Crystal Clear version. So they have many different things you can do. They have some cool ones here. This is pretty cool. This is a new one as well. The black one is one that I just picked up. I think this one's gonna look nice with the Analogue Pocket. Now, there are some issues with these. For example, he does a disclaimer here as well. This will not fit EverDrive or the Easy Flash, and if you do want to do something like that, you will have to do modifications. Now, it does fit some other flash cards, not the ones that you might be traditionally thinking of that will fit an SD card, but single-use flash cards that you have to have a program to flash it over with, that you just flash it with one game at a time, that will work with it. Now, and I will get more into that when I show it to you in the next scene. Now, one little good tidbits, the brass can show some oxidation, some discolor, but you can also use a 3M Scotch pad, some fine wool. You can buff it out essentially, which is pretty cool. For anybody who's been in the military, you'll know that you can pretty much buff it out as if you would your belt buckle. So you could really make this thing shine if you really wanted to. Now, one of the other things I wanted to point out is you do have to be careful with the back, as this is metal and it could scratch up either the pocket or it can scratch up the shell itself. And I'll show you more what that looks like as well. All right, so this is pretty much it. This is what I wanted to show you for the website. So now let's just get into how it looks on the actual cartridge itself and the Analogue Pocket.
All right, so welcome back. So now I'm just gonna share with you the Boxy Pixel cartridges that I have in front of me. So here you go. Here's one. This is a blue Boxy Pixel cartridge. Now, this is metal. This is aluminum. You can hear from the sound. It's I personally like the way it looks. It looks very good. Here is a red one that I just got. Now, this one has the flash card that I've had a video on previously, which is a rewritable flash card. One game only, so as a real-time clock. So this one has crystal clear in it because I really like that game and I'm still playing it. This one here also has a Pokemon game, Pokemon Red colorization. So, but that's something that I plan on changing more often. And here's another one. Now, I plan on getting stickers like this, more labels. I'm going to customize this. I'm going to customize all of them, actually. I'm replacing the label on this one. Originally, I just had Pokemon Crystal, but you know what? I have something special here, so I'm going to mess around with it. Now, the black one I like very much, and I think this is going to really stand out when I put it on the back of the Analogue Pocket. Now, they're not bad. Their weight's pretty good. Now, here's the one that I like. This one does have Pokemon Yellow in it. Now, this is the brass one. Now, the brass one is especially heavy, and you can kill someone with this. This thing is heavy as heck. Now, to talk about some of the issues. Now, when it comes with issues, what I can tell you is I've noticed that these do scratch up if you are not careful. Now, this can probably scratch up the back of your Analogue Pocket too. So this is something you want to be careful when you're taking in and out. Now, if you look at the back right here, this got scratched up from playing on my old Game Boy Color before I had the Pocket. Now, this is not something that's going to come out. This is there for the remainder of how long I have this for. Now, this is not a big deal playing it on the Pocket itself because the whole thing is covered. But when I was playing it on my Boxy Pixel Game Boy Advance, it was noticeable because of the way the Game Boy Advance plays. You would see pretty much this part here, which will kind of suck. But it doesn't affect me anymore since I'm playing it on the Pocket. The same thing can be said for the brass as well. But at least the brass, you can probably buff it out. So it's not as big of a deal for the brass. But that is something to keep in mind whenever you're playing this. Now, like what we mentioned before, you do have issues with flashcards. Now, when they mention flashcards, they're talking about more of the traditional flashcards like the Easy Flash and the Analogue, and the EverDrive. It's due to the simple fact that the SD card, you just can't. You can't have it there. Now, if you have the machinery, then you can totally cut it out yourself. So that's something to definitely consider. Now, this is very simple to take in and out. You just unscrew the back, and that's pretty much it. Now, you'll need something to take out. You'll need the tools to do it. This is a standard screwdriver, but for the Game Boy Color, you'll need something like with this little wrench here. Something you could just unscrew it and that's it. Now, I brought the Donkey Kong Land because I just wanted to show you the weight. Now, whenever you try and use the brass, now the brass is heavy. It's a lot heavier than the other ones. So I have a scale here just that way I can show you all. So I'm just gonna put everything on the scale now. All right, so here we have the scale. Now, what I wanna do is, let's just do the weight of the Analogue with no games in it. That way you can just see what we're looking at. So it looks like 9.795. Okay, so that's not too bad. And that's in ounces. Okay. Now let's see if we can change the unit. Definitely gives you a lot. So let's just do by grams. This is 277 grams. Okay. That's how much this weighs. Now that's in grams. Now you're going to have the, right here, that's 103 grams. The brass one. So that's pretty heavy. Now, if you look at something like just the aluminum one, it's 40. So the brass is more than double. It's more than double, almost, yeah, that's a lot more. Now, if you look at something like Donkey Kong, so this is 23 grams. So the aluminum is almost double. Now, it's kind of hard to tell the difference, to be honest, for me personally. At least the aluminum to the original, it's only 17 grams, a little heavier. Now, I wonder if the stickers make any difference. Let's see. Stickers made almost no difference because it's a sticker. Is that 40.2? Yeah, made 0.3 grams of a difference. That's what it does. Now, like I've mentioned, you want to try this together. So if you just let's put one of the metal ones. I'm going to add the metal one here. Obviously, that's going to increase the weight a little bit. So now you're at the 318. Just to give you an idea. Normally, it would be probably around 300, I would say, if you subtract 17. Yeah, 301, see? So, okay, this is what you're going to get whenever you play any of the regular games. You're going to get that. You're not going to get much of a difference when you play the aluminum one. Now, this is where you're going to notice a difference. You're going to feel it's like lopsided heavy whenever you play with the brass one there. Now look, you're up to 380. That is definitely significantly different. You'll notice the difference when playing with the brass. So I wouldn't recommend buying the brass cartridge if you want to play it on something like this. You're gonna notice a difference. If you don't mind it, that's up to you. I personally would prefer the aluminum one. So that's just my personal preference. I'll leave that up to everybody else. But they all do work well. Now, I would say that I've had some issues but setting up some of these games. For some reason, my Pokemon Gold wouldn't work on the brass. I don't know why. Maybe it could have been the battery. Who knows? But it worked. I mean, it works outside the cartridge. For some reason, maybe because it is conductive, it gave issues with that game. The yellow, I had no issues. So, I don't know. Take with that what you will. But I would definitely, if you're looking for play with the Analogue Pocket, as cool as the brass does look, and it looks really nice. So this is something that you definitely would want to display, and especially when you polish it. It's something that's going to look really good. I would maybe just stick more towards the regular aluminum ones, since that would probably be better off balanced when you're playing it itself. So let's just wrap up the video now, and let me give you my 2 cents. All right, so that pretty much covers what I have to let everyone know when it comes to the Boxy Pixel cartridges. I personally like them. I like them a lot, especially if you want to customize an old game that you might have, whether it be an original one or you want to go ahead and check out the single rewritable flash cards that are out there that I've had previous videos on. I definitely recommend them. Go check them out. You're probably going to like them yourself, especially if you like Game Boy games, Game Boy Color games. Now, they also have these for the Game Boy Advance, which is very similar to this here. That has other issues that would definitely be good for another video, for another day, such as not all games work with it. At least with this, I can almost certainly say any game that can fit into an original Game Boy cartridge will work on this. Well, all right, everyone. Thank you for watching. Have a good one. Please like and subscribe.